Hello, we're going to make a video and this video will demonstrate logging into a workstation on the ECE HPC Linux platform with x2go. The ID that we're going to be using is not a new ID and we're not logging in with a password reset. So we're just going to log in with the regular ID password challenge with x2go. Note, if you're logging into a workstation with a brand new ID or you have just received a password reset, there will be a slight difference from what you see in this video. If you are logging in with a new ID or using a reset password, you will be forced to change your password when you log in. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we have a Windows 10 installation here. Just a quick note, if you look down here and you see that little globe, that means I'm running VPN. I'm running from home and I'm on a fairly slow DSL line, 6 down, 1 up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to run the x2go client and connect to one of the ECE HPC workstations. You see it up here on the desktop, x2go client, and you can also get to it from the start menus and go down here to the X all the way down here. If I click on x2go client, you can run it from right there, third one down. Okay, so I'm going to actually click the icon on the desk, and I've already got two sessions instances lined up that I've created in the past. One was to the ECE HPC 02 machine, and another one to another machine on another Linux machine on a different platform. So what we're going to do is we're going to create go through the process of creating a new one of these blocks, one of these sessions, going to a different machine. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click new session, and I get the new session dialog. So what I'm going to do here, where it says session name, I'm going to put in something descriptive that is going to kind of explain what where we're going and logging into. So we're going to log into ECE HP01. We don't have that machine configured here yet, and so for the host name is ECE HPC01.cc.lehigh.edu, and I'm going to put in my ID. Again, don't worry, I only have 3 characters because I've been around for a while, so that's the old IDs. Then one thing in the port 22, that's perfect, that's good. One thing that one thing that we have to remember to do is change the desktop. Right here it says KDE. We're going to change it to mate, and this dialog box is a little bit too big, or actually my virtual machine is a little bit too small, I guess, so I had to scrunch that a little bit to come down here and get the OK button. Now I can hit OK. Alrighty, and you'll see it put the ECE HP, actually it says HP01. Let me just go and I'm going to click these 3 dots, and I'm going to click on session preferences. That allows me to come up here and edit it. This isn't critical, but it should be HPC01. Again, we'll scrunch the box, we'll come here and then click the OK button. Okay, now the title is now HPC01. So what I'm going to do to get it started is I click on this bold text in the box, and it gives me a ID password dialog box. So I'm going to type in my password. And first time logging into a machine with a particular ID and password, excuse me, it needs to exchange a public key with the client. That's the machine I'm logging in from, and that way it can encrypt the traffic that goes back and forth. It also uses it to verify the client will know that it's going into a machine that has the correct private key, and that helps confirm that it's not being sent to a machine that it shouldn't be. So anyways, I'm going to click yes to accept the private key. That's what I'm doing. And I'm waiting for the connecting. Now sometimes if you wait too long, for example, like I was doing a lot of talking, sometimes it won't connect because there's like a time check or whatever. So if you wait too long, your login won't work. This is what it looks like when it's starting to work. Actually, it's bringing up a screen, and it's going to bring up basically a desktop on the Linux machine. So here you have a desktop, and this is on the Linux machine that we're working on, the workstation. And you can actually come down here. If you take your cursor down here, you can drag this screen, give yourself a little bit more real estate, and see if I can get that. There we go. So I can get it like this, and I can get the corner, and I can move it down here. So I make it a lot bigger. To get to a terminal, if you click applications and then come down to system tools and then come down to the terminal that you want to use, there's a mate terminal and there's a GNOME terminal, and then there's an XFCE terminal. I like the GNOME terminal a lot of time, and then what I'll often do is I'll do a right click on that terminal and I'll add it to the desktop. Then when I come back in, it'll be right there in the desktop, and I don't have to go through the start menu. So but I'll just click on it here. Okay, and we'll run one or two commands just to show you that we can get a GUI back, and it's pretty quick. Again, I'm running over a very slow DSL line. So I'm going to run a program called gedit, and I'll put a little ampersand in there, and that ampersand allows me to get my $sign back. Here's that little notepad program. Okay, and then I'll run gedit again, but I won't put the ampersand there just to illustrate something. Okay, so now if I come back over here to the terminal, you'll see I don't get my $sign back. So if you put that ampersand, you'll get your $sign back. And the advantage of having that $sign is you can run multiple programs from the same there's those enters I entered that hit on the keyboard, and so they show up now. So if I type, say I type gedit, and I put that ampersand in there so I can get my $sign prompt back. Okay, so we'll move this over a little bit so I can get back to my terminal, and then I can run something called GNOME system monitor. And I'll put that little ampersand sign there, and I get my $sign back. And here's the GNOME system monitor. Now if I wanted to run another program, I could just bring this up and go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to close these things that I ran. So I'll close those programs. I'm going to exit out of the terminal. Now to leave, what I need to do is I need to log off. So I mean, you can, if you hit shutdown, it's going to be functionally like logging off, or you can just click the log out button, and then it asks me to confirm it, and there you go. Now I'm logged out. And if I hit cancel, that puts that little box over there on the right hand side. So that's all there is to logging in to the into a workstation on the ECE Teaching Lab Linux platform. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for listening.